And we greet you on this dreary Thursday, the final one of September 2023, as the Princess Anne Cavaliers and the Kellam Knights are underway here at the training center in Virginia Beach. Matt Hatfield here with you. And our game today is brought to you by JPM Financial Services and John's Tax Service. They're the best thanks to you. Call them at 757-455-6763 for all your tax needs. And Matt Hatfield here with you as we've got this matchup between two teams trying to nudge themselves into the top 10 in our field hockey rankings. Kellam and Princess Anne, both of whom have made some progress here as of late. Coach Don Warner's Cavaliers looking like a team that can be a factor in Region 5A. So too are the Kellam Knights under Nicole Morgan, who won their most recent matchups here on the stream with us. They prevailed 7-5 over Ocean Lakes just 2 days ago. They're in the black and gold, black jerseys with the gold numerals and gold shorts. And we'll go through the rosters for both teams momentarily here as we're efforting getting our score bug corrected. Some of the weather has played some havoc. As you can understand, it was pouring down pretty heavy rain about 15-20 minutes ago before we started this matchup and hit the airwaves. And we thought we might even begin on a delay, but fortunately this one's underway. Let's hope the rain will tail off because it's still sprinkling a good bit, and it could be another band of heavier rain coming as we move into the second quarter. Looking at the radar, which we love not doing, but on this day we are doing a little bit of. So here we go with Kellam and Princess Anne. Let's give you the rosters we have for these two teams. We'll begin with Kellam, is because the roster I have for Princess Anne right now is a partial, but we should have a full one here momentarily. For the Knights, under Coach Nicole Morgan in the black and gold, they feature the likes of Ellis Cannon, you see right there with the ball as she gets into the attacking 25, makes a nice little dish off, but could not connect with Melina Magnano, number 7, who had 4 goals in that 7-5 win on Tuesday over Ocean Lakes. And in fact, for Magnano, she had a trio of those goals in the fourth quarter alone. Kellam had several leads in that game against Ocean Lakes on Tuesday. In fact, led it 2-0, 3-1, 4-2 before the Dolphins tied it up at 4-all late in the third period. And then Magnano took control of things, and Kellam was able to pull away from a very valiant Ocean Lake squad and win that one 7-5. So here we are with, and the score bug is fixed, so big thanks to Nick Senti for that. Princess Anne and Kellam under 12 minutes to go in our first quarter. The Cavaliers in the, I call them the candy stripes, the white jerseys with the red numerals. And for Kellam, let's go back to the rosters we were getting ready to tell you here. Numerical order for Kellam. Number 1 is Arden Mariano, a sophomore forward midfielder. Number 2 is Lucy Wilhelm, a freshman midfielder. 3 is Gracie Cooper-Skolnick, a junior defender. 4 is Lily Turner, a senior forward and midfielder. Junior Samantha Neidhold wears number 6. She's a forward for the Knights. Melina Magnano, the aforementioned senior forward, wearing number 7 for Kellam. Number 8, Caitlin Hayden, a junior defense. Number 10, Noah Netterveld, a midfielder and defenseman, a junior for Kellam. Also a junior midfielder is Ellis Cannon, wearing 11. 12 is Elizabeth Holmes, a senior midfielder. 13, Maisie Boyce, a senior forward and midfielder. 14, Layla Zani, a junior midfielder and defender. 15, Piper Shakika, freshman. Lane Austin is a freshman forward wearing number 16. You also have Carly Porter, a sophomore defense, wearing 18. Lillian Engstadt, a sophomore forward wearing 20. 22 is Emmy Pisterman, senior midfielder. 27, Elena Vochis, sophomore midfielder. And your goalkeepers, 40 is Kylie Hayden, a sophomore, and 99, Jamie Loy, a goalkeeper, wearing 99. It's a junior for Kellam. So here we go with our first penalty corner. It's going to come at the 10-20 mark. And Kellam's going to get it into Magnano, and that almost went into the near post side here as it just deflected out. For Coach Don Warner's PA squad, we'll go through some of those here in just a second, as they have been a factor here as of late and very competitive. fact, just a couple days ago, Princess Anne notching a 10-0 shutout of Green Run. Emerson Eves, Sarah Ellis, and Charlotte Dougherty scoring 2 goals apiece, while Haley Kraft, Kelsey Manugo, and Elcom Sarsilmaz each scored a goal, as did Mackenzie Short. So for Coach Warner, he saw a total of 7 players find the back end of the net. And one of them was not Sydney Reguini, who is one of the standouts for them, headed to JMU. Sarah Ellis, a Richmond commit for Princess Anne. Reguini, a junior, Ellis, a senior. Let's go to what we have numerical order. Roos Klutz, number 2. Clara Holmes, number 4. Charlotte Dougherty is 6. 7 is Sarah Ellis, the senior standout. 8 is Emerson Eves, coming off that 2-goal game. 9, Marion Baxley, a sophomore. 12, Maura Graves. 13, Lydia Senzone, a senior. Reguini, Sydney Reguini, the aforementioned junior standout, wears 14 for PA. 16 is Haley Kraft, sophomore. 17, Heidi Plank. 18, Raylan Peace. 19, Kelsey Manugo. 21, Ilkum Sarsilmaz. And Mackenzie Short wears 26. Bethany Kultis, a senior goalkeeper, and Madison Dennis, another goalkeeper for the Cavs as well. As the rain continues to fall on this Thursday afternoon, the 28th of September. Kellam operating on that far side, down at the end of the field. That's number 15 making a nice pass over to Magnano, who's going to try to slice her way through, and almost a goal for number 2, Lucy Wilhelm. That pass again by Shakika, number 15. And Kellam's going to huddle up with another penalty corner coming up here. Almost midway through this first quarter. As we told you earlier, our game is brought to you today by John's Tax Services and JPM Financial Services. They're a proud community supporter of local youth sports, providing tax preparation and retirement planning services. JPM Financial Services and John's Tax Services have been serving all of Hampton Roads for over 20 years. They're the best thanks to you. Off that penalty corner opportunity, Cannon had it, now gets it back. A little quick dump off. And Magnano scores it from Cannon. Melina Magnano with the first goal at the 6:45 mark, assisted by Ellis Cannon. So put that on the board to make it 1-0 in favor of the Kellam Knights. And we'll actually fix our score bug here, as it is backward yet again. So we'll work on that for you all here momentarily. Give you a chance to see the accurate score, or an accurate reading, I should say, of the score, as it now flashes up on our screen here in just a second. At least it should. There you have it. Kellam 1, Princess Anne 0 is our tally. There's Ellis Cannon with a little intercept. Under 6 minutes to go in this opening first quarter here. Princess Anne getting close to the net there. One of their best sequences of the first frame. 3 straight wins for Kellam, who beat Kempsville 7-1 16 days ago here. They're 2-0 in our games we've streamed so far here in the month of September. Sandwiched in between that win over Kempsville and the 7-5 escape versus Ocean Lakes with a 13-0 shutout of Green Run. They began with losses to Cary Christian by a 3-2 count, 2-0 to First Colonial, and 3-0 to Western Branch. I do think we'll have some more shakeups in our next field hockey top 10. We provided that to you on Tuesday in our latest Field Hockey with Hatfield podcast, which you can go back and watch on our Virginia Beach Sportsplex YouTube channel and beachsportsplex.com. We bring you a weekly field hockey podcast along with On the Hash with Hatfield, which dropped earlier this afternoon for football fans. And then we bring you 757 Saturday Sports Talk every Saturday here from the Plex. Yours truly and the coach, Ed Young, giving you the latest dive in on local sports and beyond, which features a smattering of guests and interviews and all kinds of topical info and segments around the sports world, and a chance to interact with us through our social pages and online. Taking a hop up ahead, Ellis Cannon, who swerves it back inside, trying to make a feed. It's going to be picked, her pocket, for Princess Anne. And now the Cavs getting it up ahead, trying to make that little short dump off on the near side to number 4, Clara Holmes. Now PA has it with Maura Graves. Right there along the sideline, unable to get to it was Reguini stretching out to try to get the ball. So Kellam reclaims possession with Ellis Cannon set to put it in on the side end. That one takes a hop on the turf and then rolls out. Speaking of the turf, the AstroTurf brand has been driven by forward-thinking ingenuity since 1965. AstroTurf continues to improve its system design to deliver playing surfaces with the most realistic sport-specific performance, longest-lasting durability, and sound player protection. AstroTurf, one of our proud sponsors of our streaming productions here with Hometown Sports Productions at the Regional Training Center and at the Sportsplex right next door. Ellis Cannon with it. Nice dump off, and it's going to be an assist for Cannon and a goal for the Knights. That's the second assist for Cannon, and that goal for Kellam in gold and black, number 20 scoring it for Kellam. And that is none other than Lillian Engstadt. With 3:02 to go in our first period, the sophomore forward getting on the board with a goal. A couple of stats to pass along for Kellam coming into this one. The Knights with 6 goals on the year for Cannon, 5 for Magnano, and right behind them was Maisie Boyce with 3. Engstadt was third on the team in assists with 2 behind Sammy Nadehold's 3 and Magnano's 6. Now Cannon gets a couple of assists to add to her total. And Magnano the leading point scorer with 16, Cannon with 14, and Boyce with 8 entering today's matchup. We'll see if Coach Warner, who we spoke with on our field hockey episode, I believe that was 004. If you go to our playlist, you can watch some archived episodes. Subscribe, like, and share. When you subscribe, you'll get notifications when we go live with our episodes. I also spoke with Joe Dougherty of Gloucester. And good to know we did not jinx either one of them as they both prevailed on Tuesday. It was Gloucester doubling up Menchfield 2-1 behind goals from Avery Watkin and Reese Miller. And as we mentioned earlier, PA with a 10-0 shutout off Green Run as they had 7 different players find the back end of the cage. Coming up next week on our Field Hockey with Hatfield podcast, you'll be hearing from Mary Werkheiser of Norfolk Academy, who got themselves a very nice 5-1 win over Cox on Wednesday afternoon in Norfolk behind a hat trick, 3 goals from Lizzie Adams. The Penn State commit and junior sensation Joji Purdy also had a couple of goals, as that was a pretty good game early. I happened to stop by that one on Wednesday late afternoon. Getting a little chillier outside like it is today. And it was scoreless until the 1:30 mark of the second quarter when Purdy got the goal, then Adams got one. 18 seconds later, and Academy went up 2-0 at halftime, tacked on a couple more goals in the third period before Cox got its first goal in the fourth. And trying to recall who had the Cox goal in that 5-1 loss on Wednesday. I think it was Sophia Birch, number 2 for them. Of course, they have a number of standouts to the Falcons with her as well as Megan Spear, Dartmouth bound. We spoke with on one of our podcasts recently, a couple weeks ago, with Isabel Pardo, the goalkeeper headed to Liberty. She'll be a teammate of Magnano of Kellam out there, number 7, coming up in the future. Right now, they're Beach District opponents, and right now, Kellam with the 2-0 lead as we end the first period against Princess Anne here on a rainy Thursday late afternoon at the Regional Training Center here in Virginia Beach. We're going to step aside and hear from Vlac as well as AstroTurf and John's Tax Services before the second quarter comes your way right here on BeachSportsplex.com and on our YouTube channel with the Virginia Beach Sportsplex.
After more than 50 years of innovation, AstroTurf still leads the way. The inventor of artificial turf does it all, right here in the USA. We engineer, test, manufacture, and install the world's most innovative fibers and turf technologies, with over 30,000 tracks and fields worldwide. AstroTurf, powered by Sport Group.
Well, it's everybody's favorite time of year again. Time to prepare to make your annual donation to that infernal revenue service. And if you're like me, you need help. Help to keep that donation as small as possible. So get off your W-2 and call John Maynard at John's Tax Service. 455-6763.
At CHKD, sports medicine is more than just treating injuries. It's a whole team approach to caring for young athletes. With experienced physicians, surgeons, trainers, and rehab specialists here when kids and teens need them most. Our experts help young athletes prevent injuries too, with advanced training and conditioning programs that keep them in the game safely. CHKD Sports Medicine, where kids are more than patients and we're more than a hospital.
Many thanks to the Children's Hospital of the King's Daughters, Health, Healing, and Hope for all children. They lead the region as the preferred provider of quality children's health services. Again, that mission, health, healing, and hope for all children. They're guided by the values of excellence and quality of care and service, teamwork and communication, honesty and integrity, personal responsibility, plus stewardship of resources, creativity, and innovation. For more, log on to chkd.org. That's chkd.org, the world's best hospitals. As mentioned by Newsweek in 2022. Before we begin this second quarter, let's quickly hear from another one of our sponsors, Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers. That's right, go download the app and get a free steak burger from Freddy's, where you can experience delicious cooked-to-order food, rich and creamy frozen custard churned throughout the day. It's all fresh at Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers. They're located in Virginia Beach, Hampton, Chesapeake, and Williamsburg. Freddy's, the taste that brings you back. Freddy's.com for more. It was founded in 2002 in Wichita, Kansas, believe it or not. You can see the menu when you log on to Freddy's.com. Get yourself the app, as so many kids and adults alike do these days, and I imagine they're even available on one of those ordering services. They can deliver it right to your house. We're starting to see some more of that windy mist that's blowing through on the turf. We'll see if this has any effect. Now, you know, like they often do, they water the turf to have the moisture for them to participate. It's not necessary for today, as we're seeing a good smattering of rain, although it has not been as heavy as it was when I was rolling in here and was not completely sure we'd get this game in. But as long as we keep it from flood-like level of precipitation and keep the Thunder Boomers away with lightning and thunder, we should be all right. We're still waiting for Princess Anne to get on the board with a goal, and this is going to be their best chance of the half as they'll get a penalty corner here at about the 13:30 mark. Kellam had 2. They got their first in terms of penalty corners at the 10:20 mark of the opening frame, and they followed up with a goal at the 6:45 mark from Melina Magnano, assisted by Ellis Cannon. Here's PA trying to slice one through the middle, but much better defense from the Knights than we saw against Ocean Lakes, where they, I don't know if they want to say they let up or relaxed, but they let the Dolphins get a couple of transition opportunities on them, and it paid off with some goals. Caitlin Snow was able to score a couple of times for the Dolphins, and Brenna McCarty had a trio of assists to go with a couple of goals for Ocean Lakes in that one, as they showed a lot of battle and grit to make things interesting back on Tuesday. If you want to find out more in terms of the schedules, when teams play, I get asked this quite a bit for a variety of sports, be it in the Beach District and all across Hampton Roads. They say, how can I find it? Do I go online to the website you run and operate, Matt, VirginiaPreps.com? Well, we always encourage that, as I give that shameless plug out there. Or Max Preps, or the VHSL site. Well, for the district schedules that are posted by the SACs, the student activity coordinators, the athletic directors, as many still refer to them, the best place to go is the individual district sites, beachdistrictva.org. Can give you all the info as far as the district calendar goes for each and every school and all the sports, whether it's field hockey or football. It can be in the springtime for baseball, the wintertime for basketball. But they have it up there for everything: competition, cheer, cross country, dive, golf, gymnastics, indoor and outdoor track, lacrosse, soccer, scholastic bowl, tennis, volleyball, wrestling. Most all of the information the VHSL tells the individual schools and the districts to input that info. Now, do they all do it 100% of the time and it's 100% accurately? No, but it's a good system that they've created, the VHSL, for this. As you see on your screen now, a lot of that wind and rain, well, you don't really see the wind. You see the rain blowing from the wind, I should say. A little over 11 minutes to go in the second period. Knights on this restart trying to get it up ahead with Caitlin Hayden, but PA's going to swipe it away. Good job for them. We actually have a complete roster with the proper spellings and everything. I think I've been butchering Reese Clute, the backer for PA, who's a freshman wearing number 2. And a big thanks to Nick for that, getting us the accurate rosters updated for Coach Don Warner. It's Kellam now with under 11 minutes to go in the second quarter, trying to maintain and possibly increase this 2-0 lead. Come the Knights now on the move with Engstad, who had that second goal at the 3:02 mark of our first period. Looks like more significant rainfall starting to land out there on the turf as more umbrellas are coming out. From the side in on the far side, Elizabeth Holmes getting it in for the Knights. We're trying to make it 4 straight wins today after the 0-3 start. Ellis Cannon now trying to slice it to cutting Maisie Boyce along the baseline area, but it goes out of play. It's just under 10 minutes till halftime. Another one of our sponsors helping make this broadcast possible for you is One Life Fitness, One Inspired Life. Their help to start your new membership today. You can go to any one of the 8 convenient locations across Hampton Roads and find out more details when you log on to onelifefitness.com, where they also have a free trial pass available for you. That's One Life Fitness. Again, onelifefitness.com, the webpage, for more details there. Straight ahead, Kellam almost getting one to work through for Noah Netterveld. And Engstedt got right there beside the goalkeeper. I believe that is Bethany Kultas, who's wearing 64, I understand, today, and I think playing the first half. They might make a switch after halftime with Madison Dennis. Kultas a senior, Dennis a sophomore. Got a couple of games going on here at the training center today. We've got Cox and Tallwood on the field next to us. And it's shipped back towards midfield, and when it gets shipped back towards midfield, that's a good sign for PA. However, Kellam with Ellis Cannon getting right back in the fray, trying to disrupt that Princess Anne attack, led by Ellis and Maguini, of course. Arden Mariano, number 1, and number 27, Elena Vochas. A couple of sophomores standing right next to each other, ready to check in at the next substitution exchange. Rain becoming heavier, as I thought that Doppler radar was indicating we would see in the second quarter. Let's hope it tapers off towards the third period. There's Cannon off the rebound. She's going to try to shoot it to a teammate in Engstead, but it goes out of play. Substitution now as we watch Mariano come in for Lane Austin. Some other games going on around the Beach District today in field hockey. Lancetown is visiting Salem. Two schools that will be squaring off, ironically enough, on the gridiron this coming Monday. As will the other two matchups we'll be telling you about here, with Bayside at Kempsville and First Colonial at Ocean Lakes. Now what's ironic about that is, I believe that Bayside-Kempsville game today in field hockey is the opposite. It is Bayside hosting Kempsville on Monday for football, and Ocean Lakes is hosting First Colonial in field hockey today. Coming up on Monday, it is at Ocean Lakes, so a little bit of a switch in some venues there, but you go to beachdistrictva.org, you can see a lot of the scores, the standings, even a couple of rosters that are posted up there, which we love, by the way. It's less of the brunt work we have to tackle when we hit the airwaves and cover these fine student athletes. And we do appreciate so much the athletic directors, the administrators, the student activity coordinators, and especially the coaches that provide that info to us. As almost a empty cage there. It's going to be a penalty corner. Caught the Knights a little bit out of whack, and now PA is going to get another chance here with just under 6 minutes to go in this first half. This is the second penalty corner for PA here in the half. They're looking for Reguini, you would suspect here. Cavaliers got a goal. I think our camera panned away from who scored that. Inadvertently, by the way, that was not intentional. So we couldn't quite tell you who had that goal. We apologize greatly for that. But we're going to stay with the young lady that they hugged and assume that that's the one that got it. So bear with me as I try to make a prediction on who had that goal. I think that was the one that put it into play, by the way. I think that was the one that was literally the one inserting it. I think they went to hug her. Single-digit number, we can tell you that. Looks like a 3, but I hate to make that guess and be wrong. As we tick near 4 minutes to go in this first half. Actually looks like number 2, rather. I think that was Reese Clute that had that goal. I'm going to say with about 55... I'm going to say with about 55 to 60% certainty that was Reese Clute who had that goal at the 5:14 mark for PA. And we'll go with that because it did look like she was the one that had it. Who, ironically enough, put that into play and then got the goal. So it's a 2-1 lead for the Knights. And again, another challenge for Nicole Morgan's team, who had that multi-goal lead on Tuesday, and it evaporated versus Ocean Lakes. So, you know, PA's not going to give up here. They're going to stay after it, knowing full well that they just came off a double-digit goal performance themselves. Last Thursday, we brought you a 3-0 win for them over Kempsville, where Riguini was the exceptional performer. Don Warner talked so much on our podcast about just the PA community. It's a collective effort. One is not bigger than the sum of the parts. And they got a lot of parts that are starting to get better and better slowly but surely. This one did not start off the way they probably envisioned. As Kellam's coming off a state tournament appearance a year ago at the Class 6 level with a Region 6 runner-up, Region 6A runner-up to Western Branch, who got to the state semis, the Knights falling in the state quarterfinals. Now Kellam's in a much tougher bracket, I will say. I'm sure there are people in Region 6A that will dispute that with me, but when you have a Cox program that's won upwards of 24 state titles, 5 in a row, and you got First Colonial, and you now got Great Bridge, who's coming off 3 consecutive state titles in Class 4, that bracket is a meat grinder. Even though Great Bridge is coming off a recent loss to Grassfield on Monday, Grizzlies cracked our top 10 for the first time this season here this week, and I have a funny feeling they're going to move upward as we reshuffle things in the coming weeks. Under 2 minutes to go in our second quarter, and then we'll get the halftime break, which I'm sure a lot of these young ladies are wanting to hit because they want to dry off and catch their breath. A couple of the Kellam coaches are wrapped in some blankets. I imagine trying to stay dry. Don Warner's got the lawn hat on, as I will say, the lawn hat. He's not passing for Indiana Jones, but I'm sure he'll feel a lot better if his team makes it 2-2 by the break. And they have a chance here. They're getting a lot more possession time. Oh, nearly an assist for Riguini. She got it down low and close to the post area to her teammate. I'm trying to check who that number is. She's moving so quickly. I think that's number 18, Raylan Perez, who is, if I'm not mistaken, a new name that was not on my sheet on Tuesday. Penalty corner as Riguini hit it off, looked like the foot area of the goalkeeper for Kellam, who's wearing 70 today, and I'm still assuming that's Kylie Hayden, unless it's Jamie Loy with a different number. But we'll double check that here in a second. That is Kylie Hayden now wearing 70 this year. So with 10 ticks here, this is going to bring the end of the half. This penalty corner with the chance for PA to tie things up. Keep a close eye on 6 and 14 in the middle of your screen. 6 is Charlotte Dougherty and 14 is Sydney Riguini. They get it into Riguini. Moves up an inch, takes a shot, but Kellam's able to halt that between the goalkeeper and number 10, Noah Netterveld. But as time runs out in the half, it's a 2-1 halftime lead for Kellam, as we will step aside for a little bit and come back with our third quarter. But right now we're going to hear from some more of our sponsors, and we'll begin things off with Chicho's Pizza, a proud sponsor of our weekly On the Hash with Hatfield 757 Football Player of the Week. That went to Messiah Delome of Warwick this past week. And let's hear more from Chichos.
Okay, who here has reached peak fall?
Peak what?
Peak fall!
I am wearing plaid.
And I'm wearing a cardigan.
I guess I am eating snickerdoodle cookie dough.
And I am eating a pumpkin pie blizzard.
The new DQ Fall Blizzard menu has reached peak fall. Pumpkin pie, snickerdoodle cookie dough, and more. They are back!
I just love fall.
Apparently we all do.
Oh, they did it! Peak fall achieved! DQ, happy
That's right, they train athletes, Vault Athletics and Fitness. It's the newest 13,000 square foot facility in Hampton Roads, located in the Hilltop section of Virginia Beach. They specialize in youth athlete development, personal training, small group training, and specialty fitness classes. Vault Athletics and Fitness, and you can find them online at vaultathleticsandfitness.com to see more about their field hockey, their programs, their lacrosse, the camps, clinics, and classes, and so much more. Before we take another break and come back with the third period, some upcoming matchups for these two squads. Princess Anne will be in action again coming up on Tuesday right here at the training center against Ocean Lakes at 4 o'clock. And then they take on Washington Liberty on Friday, October 6th. And that's going to be at the Regional Training Center at 5 p.m. Tallwood, October the 10th, the Tuesday here at the Regional Training Center as well for the Cavaliers under Coach Don Warner. As for Kellam, their upcoming games feature Tallwood coming up on October the 3rd, Bayside October the 5th, and they're involved in that tournament here, the Ring of Honor against Norfolk Academy, the top-ranked team in the area, and we dare say the state, one of the top 5 in the country, 10:30 a.m. October the 7th, right here at the training center. We've got the third period coming your way in just a bit, but we're going to quickly hear from Freddy's and then John's Tax Service, our title sponsor for today's matchup, where Kellam leads Princess Anne by a count of 2-1.
Well, it's everybody's favorite time of year again. Time to prepare to make your annual donation to that infernal revenue service. And if you're like me, you need help. Help to keep that donation as small as possible. So get off your W-2 and call John Maynard at John's Tax Service. 455-6763.
So if you need tax help, give them a call at 757-455-6763. Questions at johnstaxservice.com is the email address, and you can find them online at johnstaxservice.com. John's Tax Service and JPM Financial Services presenting today's matchup where Kellam leads Princess Anne 2-1 here as we get the third quarter underway from a rainy Regional Training Center on this final Thursday of September 2023. We're glad you're tuned in with us wherever you may be watching, from your house, your office, friend's house, family, wherever you might be. Matt Hatfield here with you. All the umbrellas out because it is starting to rain even more significantly out here. Kellam in the black and gold as they will now shift going from left to right. Little pass on the near side to Lucy Wilhelm. Gets swatted out. Princess Anne in the white jerseys with the red numerals working from right to left. Cavaliers coming into this one, Princess Anne that is, at 4-1 overall. Lone blemish against First Colonial for them as the Cavs were victorious in their other 4 games over the likes of Kempsville 3-0 a week ago, 8-0 over Lancetown on September 12th, and 3-0 over Cape Henry on September the 13th as a young lady for PA goes down. That's Sydney Reguini, who's able to hop back up quickly, which is always encouraging to see. And also a 10-0 win just 2 days ago for PA. Kellam at 3-3 overall. Both teams unbeaten here on our streaming channel this season. As far as PA won its game last week over Kempsville, Kellam winning its 2 games over Ocean Lakes and Kempsville as well. 7-1 and 7-5 over the Chiefs, 7-1, 7-5 over the Dolphins. Here's a penalty stroke. This is our first one of the game, the 13:35 mark. It's going to be PA's number 7, Sarah Ellis. And guess what? It finds the back of the cage, and we're knotted up at 2 apiece. The Richmond Spider commit. Deadlocking our score at 2-all. So for the second time in 3 days, Kellam has been up by multiple goals, and they've watched it evaporate. Now they were able to recover and win 7-5 over Ocean Lakes back on September the 26th, 2 days ago on this very same surface. I would say this very same field, but it was actually field 2 they were playing on Tuesday. As if anybody really cares if it's field 1 or field 2. Just for record-keeping purposes. Now, can they respond again? Or are they going to say, doggone it, we wish we were on field 2. We can come back. We did that the other day. PA's hoping field 1 is good to them, and right now this end of the field is good to them as they're starting to get more momentum as the Jets fly over top of us, headed towards Oceana. Cavaliers just about put one through again with Ellis, but it's a little wide of the net. Heavier rain starting to fall here. And there are all kinds of umbrellas out, including that Go Navy one right in front of us. Appreciate our good camera people for working under these conditions today with the steady rainfall. I can tell you they were calling for rain today, but this was not in the forecast, I don't think, at this particular time. Now, all the weathermen and weather gals across the area will dispute that with me and say, oh yeah, we called for this kind of rain. We had this in our forecast all from the get-go. I would say if I was as bad at my football predictions as sometimes they are with the weather, I'd be in trouble. But my predictions have been pretty lousy this year, so I can't brag or say much about that. Trying to snap through 3 straight weeks under 500. We'll go for it for week 4 coming up on our 757 Saturday Sports Talk podcast show this coming Saturday for all you pigskin lovers out there. Really competitive year in the Beach District for field hockey this season, and these two teams knowing this is a great opportunity to get a big win. With under 12 minutes to go, the Knights working it into PA territory for one of the first times of this half, as that was Samantha Needhold. Now Ellis Cannon inside the 25's got it. She's going to swerve away from 2 defenders back to the left. Turns away from one, and then it's going to be, I think that's a penalty corner. It is for Kellam. Great job by excuse me, I think I said Ellis Kina. That's Melina Magnano, number 7, rather, drawing that penalty corner. It's our first of the second half here. Knights had 2 in the opening frame. Cavaliers had none. Prentice Inn had all 3 of the penalty corners in the second period. And now Kellam with the first one here in this third quarter, as we're approaching 11 minutes to go in the period. Looks like that whistle was a bit of a premature start. I think the officials are going to want a redo on this. Yep, that's what we're going to get with Netterveld. I don't even think that's going to even count, because I think they literally blew the whistle as she was hitting the ball. I'm not sure that everybody was lined up properly. We've got Magnano wearing 7 and Maisie Boyce wearing 13 in the middle. On the right wing side, you got Needhold Samantha, that is, and 27 Elena Voches. There's Magnano, who gets it to hop through. Melina Magnano on the penalty corner. Kellam is scoring quite a few of those. They had 3 or 4 goals off those sequences on Tuesday versus Ocean Lakes. And Magnano's second scoring play results in a 3-2 Kellam lead, as the Knights nudge back in front. It might have actually been assisted by Magnano, as the stick of number 10 could have gotten that one on the board. I'm watching the replay again. Noah Netterveld looked like she just got her stick there to... Although everybody mobbed Magnano, so I think we're going to keep it with her as the goal. Nonetheless, I like that she was trying to see if she could just tap it in if it didn't get a clear angle. And good teamwork from the Knights displayed on that sequence. Kellam nearly getting a transition opportunity. That's one of the areas they probably could strengthen here in the next couple of weeks before the playoffs arrive, is just their transition. Well, really on both sides, but off penalty corners, they've been becoming queens of that in a lot of ways. They've been scoring routinely off these penalty corners. I'd say even as well as, I may be stretching myself here, but some of the better teams in the area, like your top teams, like your Norfolk Academies and your Coxes and so forth, that are known for their excellence in that department. But shoring up some of the transition on both sides will be important, obviously, for Coach Morgan's team to be a factor as the playoffs get closer and closer. Ball hit a play with 8:20 and counting to go in the third quarter. Weather's getting cooler, and if you want to warm up with something around the fireplace, Zoop Eatery is a good spot to get your soups, as well as the perfect boxed lunch. They've got customizable and individually packaged meals for your convenience. A wide variety of soups along with salads, made-to-order sandwiches, and all of it's served with a hunk of bread and dessert. There's something for the whole crew when you drop on in at Zoop Eatery. It's right down the street from us here at the Regional Training Center. And I think the rain is just continuing to come down here pretty hard on this late September Thursday. Not really any let up like we were hoping for in our second half. Princess Anne watches one of its top playmakers and Sarah Ellis bend down to tie her shoe. You want to make sure you have good footing out here on this turf, especially with all the rain that's fallen. That one's going to hop off the stick of Lydia Sanzone, the senior forward wearing 13 for PA. And Ellis set to put it into play. Looks for Sanzone, but that one was a missile just behind her as she moved forward.
See that gap! See that gap!
Princess Anne now in the attacking third of Kellam. Chance to do some damage here. And that one's going to be on the board for the Cavaliers of PA as they grab not the lead, but a goal that ties it back up at 3-3 with 6:01 left in our third quarter.
Don't stop it or start. Yeah, hurry! I'm waiting for you. You just tell me when to start the clock. I got a whole pocket in the world. What do you want? You'll disappear behind the gap. You give me my umbrella. This is good. You're good. I can't even go to start. Come on, Cal. Work harder, Cal. I was trying to say I want to know. You need to commit to that. I wasn't trying to. Come on, Cal.
Kellam trying to regain its control and composure here. Five and a half minutes to go in this third quarter. I think that goal was scored by number 8 for Princess Anne. We're going to double check that, but we're pretty sure that was 8 that had the goal, as Sarah Ellis was shadowing right next to her. We're going to give it to number 8 as we watch the replay of that at the 6:01 mark. And say Emerson Eves, who had 2 goals a couple days ago when PA beat Green Run 10-0, had the equalizing goal here. As Kellam was starting to get possession and moving in the direction towards midfield when PA just grabbed it right back. And that one's going to head out of play towards the fence, right by the, well, not right by, but fairly close to that Pain and Gain Vlac sign. Right next to that one you have the Shine Time and the Fault sign. Give you a chance to hear from Shine Time as we take our fourth quarter break in just a little bit. And tell you more about them when we return as well. So give you a chance to hear from Vlac. Got a good one here. Could require overtime. At the rate we're going, it's been a back and forth battle. Kellam, if you're just joining us, scored the game's first goal at the 6:45 mark of the first period, with Melina Magnano assisted by Ellis Cannon. Lillian Engstad got the goal, a second assist for Cannon at the 3:02 mark. And it was Kellam 2, Princess Anne nothing. Cavaliers in the second quarter got a Reese Kloot goal as the ninth grader stepped up for Tom Warner's team, cutting the deficit to 2-1. Sarah Ellis with a penalty stroke goal at the 13:35 mark of our third quarter. Knotted things up at 2. We're watching Magnano trying to get one of those off-balance shots to go. Ball rolling a little bit away from her. And 2 PA defenders really staying close to her, but no infraction as they stay true to form here to give themselves a chance to press momentum right back here before the third quarter comes to a close. Magnano gave Kellam the lead at the 10:22 mark just a few minutes later after Ellis's goal, but PA was able to tie it literally 4 minutes and 21 seconds later with Emerson Eves scoring. So we've been tied twice at 2-all and 3-all, which is where we remain, as that one almost just rolled its way through. And we watch Reese Kloot go over to retrieve the ball and roll it into a teammate. I think she tossed it into Ilkum Sarsamals. PA varsity roster has 3 freshmen with Raylan Perez, Heidi Plank, and Reese Kloot. 5 sophomores, including the goalkeeper and Madison Dennis, Kelsey Manugo, Haley Kraft, Marin Baxley, and Charlotte Dougherty. Dougherty a name to circle for years to come. She's already made her presence felt. As far as the senior crop, we're looking at Sarah Ellis, Emerson Eves, Lydia Sanzone, Ilkum Sarsamaz, and Mackenzie Short, as well as goalkeeper Bethany Kultas. And just 3 juniors on the team: Claire Holmes, Maura Graves, and Sydney Reguini. Reguini probably making a case for all Tidewater this year. You would get that sense. And she's hoping for even more, perhaps even all state. As the rain is really starting to come down heavy here at the training center before the fourth quarter arrives, and it's 3-3 as we get ready for one more quarter of regulation. One of these two teams hoping to get it done in that final frame and dry off. We're going to take a timeout and hear from Black as well as Shine Time.
Revitalize your property today. Shine Time is your turnkey solution for all power washing and painting projects. With years of experience in both residential and large-scale commercial settings, their focus is to bring new life to your home, building, or outdoor space and ensure 100% customer satisfaction every time. Shine Time Power Wash.
If you want Shine Time Power Wash and Paint Professionals, you can give them a call at 757-797-5645. Get a quote today by logging on to ShineTimeINC.com. Shine Time Power Wash and Paint Professionals, your turnkey solution for all power washing and painting projects with years of experience in both residential and large-scale commercial settings. They focus on bringing new life to your home, building, or outdoor space and ensuring 100% customer satisfaction every time. You see the rain coming down considerably here at the Regional Training Center in Virginia Beach, and while we have a quick second, we'll also hear from our title sponsor and John's Tax Service.
Well, it's everybody's favorite time of year again. Time to prepare to make your annual donation to that infernal revenue service. And if you're like me, you need help. Help to keep that donation as small as possible. So get off your W-2 and call John Maynard at John's Tax Service. 455-6763.
John's Tax Service and JPM Financial making this broadcast possible for us today, as it's Kellam in the black and gold, Princess Anne in the red and white, all tied at 3 apiece as we get ready for the 4th and final period of regulation from the Soaked Regional Training Center in Virginia Beach. And the rain is going from moderate to heavy. Kellam going from left to right with Ellis Cannon right now. She's trying to roll on the sideline and twist inside, but can't keep possession, as the wet weather is certainly having an effect on things out here. There was an expectation for some storms possibly overnight and some showers to come intermittently, but I think a little more rain than what the meteorologists out there had predicted. Not much in terms of the football slate tonight. You got one football game that I'm aware of in Newport News with Denby and Woodside, 2 winless teams at John B. Todd Stadium. We'll tell you about some field hockey games coming up across the beach and the 757 for Friday, for all of you fans of that. Just a second. There are no beach football games on Friday because those got moved to Monday. Ocean Lakes and Lansdowne scheduled to square off here at the Regional Training Center tomorrow at 4 p.m. You've got, in terms of other activities as far as high school sports go, a couple of volleyball matches for the Eastern and Southeastern District with Kings Fork at Churchland. Girls and boys doubleheader on Friday. Varsity football featuring Booker T at Lake Taylor, Granby at Lakeland, Norcom taking on Maury at Powhatan Field, Manor and Norview. As far as the Southeastern District goes, that one's going to roll out of play. Field hockey matchup on Friday at 5 o'clock with Tab at Hickory. Tab is on some kind of streak right now. I think they've won about 53 consecutive. Hawks not having a ton of success yet, but if they could go beat Tab, that can really turn their season around a big way. Then you got 5 varsity football games involving Southeastern District teams. We mentioned Lakeland hosting Granby, Western Branch at Nansemond River, Kings Fork at Indian River, Great Bridge at Grassfield, and Hickory at Deep Creek. And we got a football game here right next to the Regional Training Center on Friday night with Atlantic Shores taking on Nansemond Suffolk Academy. Come on out and support the Seahawks or the Saints or just the area football scene if you like. 7 o'clock kickoff right here from the Plex in Virginia Beach as we've got our first penalty corner of the 4th quarter. And it's going to be for the ladies of Princess Anne. Their 4th of the game. Kellam's got 3 in this game. It's the first of this half for PA, working this side of the field. But they've got 2 goals already this half. Reguini gets it on the entry. Makes a pass to Ellis on the opposite side, and Ellis can't put it on the far post, in front of the far post. But PA maintains possession. Covering a lot of ground out here. Knights get to it with Alana Vochas. Emerson Eves and Sarah Ellis with the 2 second-half goals for PA. There's Ellis Cannon. We've not seen her score today. She had that 4-goal game and was our inaugural Il Giardino Ristorante Chicken Parm Player of the Week here to begin the 2023 field hockey season. We announced that on our weekly field hockey podcast. This week's winner was Lily Johnson of Great Bridge. Who will get it for the upcoming episode? Well, certainly when someone from Norfolk Academy beats Cox and has a great performance, that's noteworthy. We'll see if someone ends up trumping that before our announcement. Remains to be seen who it is. And if you want to nominate someone, you can always reach out to us on our pages, social pages through Twitter or X, as well as YouTube, Facebook. And we're always welcoming for stats and info. And rolling away there was Ellis Cannon. The 25, Carly Porter, sophomore, makes the pass over to Cannon. Cannon looking for Magnano, and that was just going to be out of the reach. I think she was directing it to her, and Magnano was on the move, wasn't set. The communication was not entirely on point here. PA just been hanging around this game. They were down 2 goals, down a goal, tied it up, down a goal, tied it up. Have not taken the lead, which Ocean Lakes was unable to do in its comeback effort versus Kellam on Tuesday. Cavaliers, the concerning part of this here right now is while they battled back, they had a lot more possession time in that third quarter, at least it felt that way, than they're having here to begin this fourth and final frame of regulation. Here's Cannon, able to dig it away from number 13, Lydia Sanzone of PA. Cannon gets it back here. Shoots it through traffic. And now PA's on the run. Can't get into Kellam territory, though, as the Knights are able to hop on it with Gracie Cooper-Skolnick. Now the Cavs get it into Kellam territory with relative ease as Sarah Ellis is on the move. A good 20, 30-yard sprint for her, and then she's going to draw a penalty corner. Ellis is starting to get her fingerprints on this game ever since she scored that penalty stroke with 13:35 to go in our third quarter. This would really be a springboard type of win if they can get it for Don Warner's Princess Anne team, which has got Ocean Lakes coming up on Tuesday, Washington Liberty next week. They do have an out-of-district matchup with Great Bridge on the 13th of October before their regular season finale against Salem October 17th. Raguini. That one gets deflected and pops out to where Kellam thought they had it, but they play on with PA. Here's Ellis. And then Ellis, as she was sweeping the ball, Cannon just grabbed it from her basically. Wilhelm racing on for Kellam now. Good battle here with under 7.5 minutes to go. One of these teams hoping for no overtime. Knights can improve to 4-3 with a win. Cavaliers can move to 5-1 with a victory. Here's Princess Anne again threatening. And unable to get one through. Everyone in the Beach District has taken a blemish. We saw Cox lose to Norfolk Academy on Wednesday. First Colonial had a loss to Norfolk Academy as well. PA's only loss came to FC. District has been pretty competitive thus far in the early season. There's a nice move from Ellis Cannon, and she bumps into a PA defender before passing it up ahead. Over on the near sideline, it's Caitlin Hayden, who then watches it roll away. Again, no let up in this rain as we close in on 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. It's actually coming down harder than it was when we began the game, ever since the second quarter when it started to become the steady rainfall. There's a pass from Cannon that was a no-look and intercepted and sent out by PA. Looks like that was Mackenzie Short, the back, who intercepted it, but sending it out. Now Kellam has a chance on the side end with Carly Porter. Trying to get in that shooter circle. We watch Magnano attempting to squeeze through 2 defenders, but PA's getting possession right back. However, off the ricochet, that one almost bounced in. A little too close for comfort if you're Don Water and Princess Anne, but Nicole Morgan instructing her team on, trying to get this goal to give them a sigh of relief. And they're going to say deflected, no penalty corner. Kellam has only gotten 1 this half, and that came in the 3rd quarter. About 5 minutes to go in this contest. If you want to eat better and feel better, stop on in at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. They're right across the street from Tidewater Community College on Princess Anne Road. They're bursting with fresh flavors. They offer grab-and-go catering as well as boxed lunches. Tropical Smoothie Cafe, and they're online at tropicalsmoothiecafe.com. You can view the entire menu, download the app, and find a cafe that's near you if you're not right here in the heart of Virginia Beach. Under 4.5 minutes to go. Kellam and PA still tied at 3-all. Here's Sydney Reguini. Had a hat trick last week, which she got up her sleeves today. Well, doesn't have any sleeves right now. She's playing sleeveless, as all of these young ladies are. And that, what we like to call a coffin corner area, Kellam's going to try to dig out of it and change field position, which they're able to effectively do. Good work from Caitlin Hayden. Now here's Mackenzie Short trying to beat Elena Voches of Kellam to the ball. Might still have it. Voches makes a pass. Near connection there with Carly Porter running towards PA's Lydia Senzone, and the Knights have it. Under 3.5 minutes to go in this 4th quarter. Is this one destined for OT? Starting to look more and more like that is the case, but Kellam has a golden chance here. Magnano and Cannon, a nice 1-2 punch in combination. They assisted for a goal to begin this game. As Cannon found Magnano, who's got 2 goals today by our count, coming off a 4-goal performance 2 days ago versus Ocean Lakes, where she scored 3 in the final stanza. PA recovered from its early deficit. Cox and Tallwood game has come to a close. We'll give you a score if we are able to get one before we sign off. I do believe the Falcons came out on top, judging from the smiles of their players walking to the parking lot. Reguini on the right wing side. And that one, I think, gets deflected straight off the far post. And when you put a lot of powder behind that one to make a shot attempt, it can certainly result in it going the other way. We'll check and see if our clock did freeze. Looks like we have a frozen clock right now at 3-all. So we may have to keep the time. On the field, 1:24 is what we're showing. Here's Cannon with Ellis on her hip. Nicole Morgan grabbing her assistant coach, who's wrapped in the blanket. And, oh, that was a good chance for us. Now here's Carly Porter. 56 ticks to go. That's not a great angle there for Elena Voches. We've got 50 ticks on our clock. Here's Princess Anne with Sarah Ellis up ahead. She's got Emerson Eves. Oh my goodness, nearly a goal there as it was number 4 for PA, Claire Holmes. Eves dished it out to her outside the circle. And our final few ticks are going to come off, and it looks like we are headed to overtime with this one tied at 3-all. So no scoring in the fourth quarter. No scoring the last 15 plus minutes, actually the last 21 minutes here of the second half. So we've got an overtime coming. We'll take a time out and hear from Dairy Queen, where you can grill and chill. They're always offering you fan food, not fast food, all kinds of great treats like M&M's, cookie dough, Reese's, Oreo fudge brownie, and so much more. Let's hear more from DQ.
Okay, who here has reached peak fall?
Peak what?
Peak fall!
I am wearing plaid.
And I'm wearing a cardigan.
I guess I am eating snickerdoodle cookie dough.
And I am eating a pumpkin pie blizzard.
The new DQ Fall Blizzard menu has reached peak fall. Pumpkin pie, snickerdoodle cookie dough, and more. They are back!
I just love fall.
Apparently we all do.
Oh, they did it! Peak fall achieved! DQ, happy tastes good.
After more than 50 years of innovation, AstroTurf still leads the way. The inventor of artificial turf does it all, right here in the USA. We engineer, test, manufacture, and install the world's most innovative fibers and turf technologies, with over 30,000 tracks and fields worldwide. AstroTurf, powered by Sport Group.
At CHKD, sports medicine is more than just treating injuries. It's a whole team approach to caring for young athletes. With experienced physicians, surgeons, trainers, and rehab specialists here when kids and teens need them most. Our experts help young athletes prevent injuries too, with advanced training and conditioning programs that keep them in the game safely. CHKD Sports Medicine, where kids are more than patients and we're more than a hospital.
Well, it's everybody's favorite time of year again. Time to prepare to make your annual donation to that infernal revenue service. And if you're like me, you need help. Help to keep that donation as small as possible. So get off your W-2 and call John Maynard at John's Tax Service. 455-6763.
It's more than a pizza. ChichosPizza.com. All right, so if you're wondering, how does overtime work for field hockey? Well, let's give it to you straight from the Virginia High School League. 10-minute reduced players sudden victory overtime. 6 field players and a goalkeeper. There's a 5-minute intermission. Visiting captain calls coin toss. Winner chooses side or ball. All eligible players may participate. And suspensions, such as green and yellow cards, as well as ejections, red cards, in regulation are carried over. We've had no cards, to my knowledge, handed out from regulation in our previous 60 minutes of regulation from the 4 quarters. If it's still tied after the first 10-minute OT period, a second 10-minute OT period is played. There's a 2-minute intermission, and teams change ends. They alternate center pass. And if it's still tied, the game that is, after the second 10-minute OT, teams will participate in a one-on-one tiebreaker. There's a 5-minute intermission. Visiting captain calls coin toss. Winner chooses to attack or defend first. 5 players from each team take a one-on-one alternately against the goalkeeper of the other team, making a total of 10 one-on-ones. Non-participating team members may be on the field no closer than the 50-yard line. Suspensions, like the green and yellow cards from overtime, do not carry over. Ejections, however, the red card, do carry over. And then if it gets tied from that point on, we'll tell you more about what takes place to determine how they break it. But at this point, we're going to hope for that not being the case. As we're going to set the clock here on our phone, because for some reason our score bug has been frozen, so we'll work on that here for you as we move along. I think the weather has done some damage on that front. We'll actually turn it off for a second and try to put it back on for you, as we're now in the 5th frame, if you will. Princess Anne with the chance to strike first here as they're working it from right to left. That end's been good to them with a couple of goals here in the second half. Kellam had a 2-1 lead at intermission. PA with a 2-1 advantage here in the second half, which has got us knotted up at 3-all. A lot of the umbrellas still up because the rain continues to fall here on this dreary-looking Thursday in Virginia Beach. And that one's going to be scooped up out of play by Don Warner. See Melina Magnano communicating with her teammates. Knights have it. Now Reguini's got it. One-on-one shot. Rolling away, and Sydney Reguini gets it done with about 8.5 minutes to go in the overtime. Sid the Kid, the hero, as Princess Anne takes this one over the Knights, and they celebrate it with a 4-3 victory. Princess Anne getting it done, as Sydney Reguini, who had a hat trick just last week, they win and celebrate. And Reguini, the JMU commit, coming through in the clutch. Had not heard from her in terms of scoring in this one until that moment right there. And what a game we had here. 2 teams that fought valiantly. Princess Anne's going to bump its record to 5-1 on the year. Kellam going to drop to 3-4 as their 3-game winning streak is done. So that's going to conclude this one here at the Regional Training Center. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did bringing it to you here on this rainy Thursday. And I want to thank our entire team, from Chuck Thornton and Nick Senti to everyone behind the scenes at Hometown Sports Productions, for making this all possible for all of you out there. There's a junior varsity game that's going to follow this one, but we won't be bringing that to you here in the ring, as both teams show some great sportsmanship. We're going to sign off here. This is Matt Hatfield saying thank you for tuning in to our broadcast, brought to you again by John's Tax Services and JPM Financial Services. We'll hear one more time from them before we bid adieu on this Thursday. Talk to you later from the Regional Training Center in Virginia Beach.
Well, it's everybody's favorite time of year again. Time to prepare to make your annual donation to that infernal revenue service. And if you're like me, you need help. Help to keep that donation as small as possible. So get off your W-2 and call John Maynard at John's Tax Service. 455-6763.
Hey, can you start that clock for us? Meredith. Meredith. Can you hit the clock and start? Yes.